Alright guys, the esdit, we're at 10 minutes now. No boil. I see a little bit of air accumulating on the sides and some steam, but it's not quite the rolling boil we're looking for. Alright, as you can see, it's pretty much a little flame left, but the whole cube's about gone. It's been 13 minutes. Still not quite boiling. Okay, after 15 minutes, I mean, it's totally gone. It may have gone out a minute or two ago. And yeah, the water is kind of, you see some bubbles on the side, but it never really did get to like a rolling boil. So we're going to move on. Next, we're going to do the toaks. Alright, as you can see, everything's cooled down. Friggin' thing about titanium, man, it really cools down quick. The water just got a new one there, so yeah, we're going to start over. Alright, with this toaks, yeah, this thing has been a pain in the ass. Almost takes half a lighter to get it going. We'll see if this starts right here. And what I end up doing is taking 4 little napkins, sticking it on the bottom, and then got the wood kicking. It looks like it's got a little fire going now, so we'll see. And let's go ahead and start the clock. Yeah, the whole aspect, they said it doesn't smoke very much because it burns so efficiently. But man, this guy smokes, let me tell you what. I've been feeding it constantly. If you got them, smoke them. Yeah, when the fire's going, you know, the smoke's not really there, but it's kind of got a fine line. Well, right. Let's see now. It's 9 minutes. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, and we got a boil. 9 minutes, and that was with the smoke. So yeah, in about 10 minutes, and we'd get a really good boil going. Okay, well, this actually worked for once. Maybe the lower altitude. Finally getting the fire going a little bit. Consistent feed seems to be the key with this guy. But I tell you what, man, just yeah, you can feel the heat. It's putting out some friggin' heat now. Pretty efficient. Oh yeah, rolling boil. That's what we're talking about. And it's a little under 10 minutes. Almost. I mean, just like 9.5 minutes. Sweet. Okay. Toaks worked. Alright guys, now we're going to do the solo stove. Transferred the coals in there. Easy way to get the fire going. Alright, it's cooled down. New batch of water. And we're going to start the timer. Okay. You know what I would like to say about the toaks, which is pretty cool, is that you can get a 450 cup that nestles inside of there, and then the whole toaks actually goes inside of this 1100, which is pretty cool. And I do know that the solo stove, that does nestle inside, I think it goes inside this guy, which is a 900. Okay, that does go inside the 900, and then I know for the Snow Peak 900 with the little lid like this guy, that guy will nestle inside also. All right. So yeah. And okay, that was 17. Let's see where we're at. We're at 6 minutes. starting to get some big bubbles. I did notice when it was going on the toaks that, you know, both of these are supposed to have this double burn effect, and it's really noticeable in the toaks, I guess because of the taller chamber. This guy, you know, I can't really tell. Both of them have a little feeding slot. The toaks, you can actually put a little bit bigger pieces of wood. This one, the bottom's kind of solid with a grate there, so it kind of holds it holds your coals at the bottom, and I guess somehow it circulates the things around. Yeah, I don't see any. Oh, there it is. There's a little bit of flame. And then on the toaks has an open bottom where the ashes actually do drop on the ground. You know, this one is stainless steel. I think the weight is probably comparable. Maybe this guy's a little bit heavier. Well, we'll see how it goes. All right, guys, we're at the minute mark, and yeah, this is 10 minutes. Okay, and we're at a boil. So time relatively is about the same. Maybe this guy's a little bit slower. Efficiency, they're about basically the same. I did end up putting the hot coals in here, transferring the heat. This guy is just a 2-piece versus the toaks, which is a 3-piece. And this top lid just flips over and goes right into it. And again, this does nestle into the frying pan lid Snow Peak 900 titanium, which is kind of nice. Overall, you know, they both work. Yeah, so it's just a choice, I guess. This one is a little bit lower, which is kind of nice. You don't have such a high tilting issue. All right, guys, here's just some final thoughts over the whole process. The Solo Stove, it did pretty good. Just to let you know, it's still a little warm, so the stainless steel does retain the heat quite a bit longer than the titanium, so do watch out for the burn factor. The weight, you know, is a little bit heavier. It's kind of thick inside. You may be able to put a few things in there while you're packing. But it did pretty good. It's not as tall, you know, so you don't have to deal with the tilt issue, something spilling over. The esdit, it's kind of blurry, isn't it? Anyhow, the esdit titanium holder with a cube on there wasn't very efficient. Perhaps if you could build a skirt or something around there, it may have done a little bit better. Again, that's fuel you're going to have to pack. I did try starting those cubes up at high altitude, 12,000 foot. It was difficult. I even scraped some off to get a fire going. And maybe I just have to give this a little bit more try or something else. And then get to the toaks. The toaks, I do have a 450 nestled in here. It cools down. It's titanium. It did seem that the chambers worked a little bit taller, maybe since it was, or better since it was taller. You know, the problem is, I guess, just getting it going. If anybody's got some ideas on how to efficiently start this fire, dude, I would totally be appreciated if you put some comments. But this guy also, if you do have the 1600, it doesn't go that way. It will nestle in there a little bit on the top. I mean, it's not totally flat, but you could still put it in the bag right here. And I do like a bigger pot, especially if you're going to be having to boil a lot of water. And then it does give you a little bit extra room to put some other stuff. And inside the cup here, you can also put some more stuff there also. But yeah, so and out of all the three, I would definitely, I think I'm going to, for my personal, I'll probably end up going with the toaks, you know, even though it is a little bit taller. Titanium, and it does seem to heat. It's just getting it going. You know, the Solo Stove be a good backup. You know, it's rugged stainless, a little bit heavier. Probably be a little bit easier to get going. And you know, as far as the bottom, this one does have a solid bottom, and it has a grate in it, and the grate's kind of thick. You know, so I think it holds all the ashes. You know, it definitely holds all the ashes, and then the chamber's a little bit different. Where on the toaks, you know, the very bottom has perforated holes to the ground, so the ashes do fall to the ground, which is kind of nice, kind of a self-cleaning mechanism there. But anyhow, I hope you enjoy the video, and we'll catch you on the flip side.